So, hey y'all, it is reality recap time. We are live in both places. So, what's up to Instagram? And hello over here to YouTube, YouTube land. If you are on Instagram, the whole video is on YouTube, and there's extra things that you don't get to see on Instagram. So, as we get into the mess, you know what it is. This is Black and Curious. I am Dehjai. This is
I'm Cancer.
And let's get into our actual branding, shall we?
Been watching. Tell us in the comments.
All right, we are back in both places. So at the top of the show, we actually do a little bit of pop culture. So in this week's news, so something that actually happened, we're actually real late about this because everybody has been talking about the slap of the Oscars. In January sometime, Jay-Z and Will Smith invested like $165 million in a company called Landis, which helps those of less fortune to be able to purchase homes. So basically the idea is for it to be rent to own, which I think is pretty dope. Look into it. I believe that it is LAMH.com. And this information came from Because of Them We Can. I will try to make sure I put that information down in the description box on YouTube. So that way, if you guys are interested and you want to know more about it, you can read the article that is on Because of Them We Can. Cool. In other news, Haley, she came out with her new song, Treat Me. And I've watched the video, I've heard the song. The song is a vibe. It's a bop. But I am just, I don't know, maybe I am of an older generation, but I'm feeling all types of ways about the nakedness of it all. Like, I don't know. What you think, Kendra?
I think it feels mushy. I didn't watch the whole entire thing. I just watched snippets. I follow her on the gram and all. But I guess I feel like I feel like she's channeling Beyonce. You know what? I'm not offended with the lack of clothing so much as it feels very effort,
Right. Yeah,
like it feels a little forced, like I don't have a problem with like whatever you want to wear, whoever you want to be. Like I go for the city girls. I love the city girls. So like I'm not offended by like raunchiness in that way.
Right.
But that just feels like who they are. And this does not feel like who Chloe Bailey is. It feels very much like she is forcing it and trying to force herself into this like Beyonce vibe. But Beyonce passed through some phases before she got to her full peak
totally agree.
Of sexuality. And I feel like Chloe isn't, she's trying to bypass some of those phases and it doesn't feel authentic. So that's
does not.
my take on it.
I'm like, maybe it's just because I'm a little bit older.
Like,
I'm big sis, auntie, maybe slightly. And I just kind of feel like, damn, like, where the rest of your clothes, mama? Like, it went from just, her wearing fitted things and a little revealing to like out there, I'm selling sex.
So, it just don't feel like her. Hey, Ray, Liv Ray.
It's feeling very contrived.
It feels super forced. Like it's not curling all the way over for me. But we can move on.
So in some very random things that I found on the obscure internet, which is TikTok.
Love the clock app. Love the clock app.
Yes, the good old TikTok, baby. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, Instagram, you're not going to get to hear this. It is on YouTube Live.
Scientists are not being listened to. I am willing to take a risk for this gorgeous planet. For my sons. And we've been trying to warn you guys for so many decades. Now we're heading towards a fucking catastrophe. And we've been being ignored. The scientists of the world have been being ignored. and it's gotta stop. We're gonna lose everything, and we're not joking.
And
we're not
because it's
lying. We're not exaggerating. This is so bad, everyone, that we're willing to take this risk, and more scientists and more people are going to start joining us. This is for all of the kids of the world, all of the young people, all of the future people. This is so much bigger than any of us.
That's going in my life right now.
We
do this weekly, and we talk reality
and make sacrifices
so you and Ray
for this beautiful planet
let us know what you
that
guys
gives
are
us
watching.
life.
Typically, we do Love and Marriage.
In 2003, scientists found an amoeba frozen in the Siberian permafrost, and that amoeba was infected with a 30,000-year-old giant virus. Two things put a virus in the giant category. Number one, the viruses that we're used to dealing with have a few genes that are dedicated to things like replication and the formation of capsids. These giant viruses have way more genes than we're used to, and we don't know what all of those genes do. For comparison, the HIV virus contains about 9 genes, but the malavirus, which is one of the 30,000-year-old giant viruses...
Let's get into the mess, shall we? What are you drinking, sis?
Oh, I'm having Black Girl Magic Rosé.
I have something different today. We actually have the bottle, I always do. So this is Ray Luna Prosecco.
Oh, yum.
It's pretty good.
All right, cheers.
It was on my order list today from the Good Total Wine here in Virginia.
Excellent. All right, so for our friends on YouTube, if you're catching the recap, recap, child, what in the world was I getting ready to say? If you're catching the live after the fact, I put the timestamps down below in the description box so you can, jump in wherever you feel ready to go.
Christina.
So, not Christina Water. All right, where y'all want to start?
What are we feeling? Love and Marriage feel a little Kandi in the gang. Where are we going first?
Are y'all watching any of these things on Instagram Live? Let us know, and we'll start with what you watch. If not, we can get Ready to Love out of the way. Let's do that.
Child, Ready to Love was real boring.
It is. Clifton.
Messy first.
Yeah, messy.
Well, I'm not mad. Hold on. Clifton is still my favorite.
Yeah, no. I agree. I agree. I like him and Joi together. I just think they did DaKeiya wrong. And DaKeiya, he should have said something to DaKeiya. She had to kind of pull him to the side, you've clearly made a decision here, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove myself, I guess. And then Tina didn't show up. She didn't even show up.
She didn't show up, but for Clifton, Joi made it clear that there was not gonna be nobody else. So
Absolutely.
How was he supposed to respond? He responded appropriately, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree with you. But I feel like he could have said a little side, this ain't go how I thought it was gonna go. I'm sorry about that, but I'm
he
going
did
over
at the
here.
end, at the 11th hour.
Yeah, after the fact, after he happened to walk by her on the couch. Hey, Monique, after he happened to watch, see her on the couch and was like, oh, yeah, I guess we were supposed to be having some conversations about that.
Oops.
Yikes.
So that happened, and he finally let her know. She had a little crying fest outside by the water. My thing for all the people that are left, it's just kind of for DaKeiya and P.O., who should have been gone first episode, they just kind of, merging together because ain't nobody else left. Y'all don't really like each other. These niggas are really, really lying.
Don't.
What about the sisters not attending the funeral? Oh, I missed that. Honey, this is why I need y'all to send me stuff in the DM so I can put it in the slide.
James, you want to get up here? You want to join us right quick?
Tell us the story.
You got the t-shirt, not me, honey.
Not this sip. I can't say it, Ken. This slow sip.
Ooh. Okay, girl. I'm not gonna put it out there, but if you want to come on here and talk trash, I'll let you come and do it.
Listen. Gracious me, oh my.
Oh dear. Do we need to have that conversation later on this evening?
I mean,
Okay.
let us know what tea you can give us.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. What else happened? Not a whole lot.
Girl, Ready to Love be real boring. This whole season was sad
like,
and tragic.
What's that girl's name? The thin one. Okay, you'll whisper it to
Sabrina.
me later. Sabrina. She's like, I always said she was going to end up empty-handed because she has like, I think she's kind of off-putting to these men. Like something about her delivery and approach, even when they were in the big group and she was kind of like pointing out their faults or their flaws, and that didn't seem to like kind of sit right, and it totally turned what's his name?
Donnie. That's what she was calling him.
It completely turned him off, like all the way off. And then the other guy, he wasn't
in the bottom, so I don't understand why he flipped out.
I know, but I think it was just being put on blast in that way, like in that public forum. And then the other guy, her number one, he was kind of like, well, I'm not giving you all of myself until I know that you're on a one track. And he seemed kind of off put by the comments too. So I think she's going to end up by herself.
That man without the eyebrows.
And the weird mustache.
Giving Whoopi Goldberg in the face.
Like his mustache is very thin or like weirdly manicured. Anyways.
It's okay. You can say it.
So that's that. What else happened? Not a whole lot. That little argument that tipped between DaKeiya and what's her face?
Well, let's talk about the fact that everybody came together at the open house, the brunch, or the Ponderosa, as you love to call it.
Jackie Christie.
That to me was real awkward. They've never done that in any of the seasons, and so I think that I applaud all of them for being honest. Well, not all of them. I applaud Sabrina and DaKeiya and Joi for being super honest. What I hated on the men's side of things was like, specifically with Sabrina, was like this need to like bash her or say something negative against her because she spoke so candidly about how she felt about the interaction she was having with the men. Child, this pilot in Virginia is kicking my ass right now. Excuse me, y'all. My nose feel like it's got little fuzzies tickling around the end. Anyway, but yeah, that whole conversation was awkward to me. But I appreciate that the women were able to say something. What I had a disdain for was the petty, like childishness that the men had just because she said something that you didn't like. That's what it gave to me. It gave hit dogs hollering.
And I also think that, it just gave, like, there was some pettiness there with DaKeiya and that other lady that I don't care for.
Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen, yeah. It was just kind of petty and kind of back and forth. And I was like, okay, girl, I guess.
But what I didn't understand was, like, why there was beef there between them. Like, granted, there was something that had happened when they went to the beach house or the lake house the first time. But it was real quick, and then she left the room. There was no words between them. So why was it all of a sudden tension?
From what I took from it, it seemed like just like the men kind of took offense. I feel like DaKeiya kind of took offense to the fact that Carmen brought up what what's his face allegedly said, and it was just like, why did you bring that up? Like, even if that's a conversation that y'all had, that was nothing but to insult DaKeiya. Like, there was no value to what you just brought up other than to be insulting. So I think that was her issue, that was the issue that she took with it. DaKeiya took
I mean, it was all of it, like, was petty just out of the way and childish.
Yeah, it was out of the way. So a lot of it was petty and childish, but we can move on because that Ready to Love is boring this season.
It is.
All right, where do you want to go? Let's do Kandi and the Gang.
Who, child?
James, do you know anybody on Kandi and the Gang? Do you know any of these girls? You got any tea?
The way we look at the screen, like, YouTube land. If you're
trying to get the party started.
I cannot with you.
Okay.
I appreciated the conversation that was had between Brian and Don Juan, even though Don Juan really gives me too much sometimes.
He's just
like he really be doing a lot. That conversation was crazy.
And then the conversation with him and Shawndrika, where he pulled her to the side and was like,
that was funny.
I saw it on the ring cam. It was funny, but it was just like everything got to be off the ring cam. And I don't understand that. I don't understand if people, I don't know, something about that really does not sit well with my spirit of you like micing everybody up and like micing the whole situation up and like creating conflict. Now you got her on a witch hunt. And
well, no, those ring cams have like, they already have sound attached to them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I mean by miking it up, because you turn on the ring cam, it has sound and everything. So like you put a microphone in the entire room. And it's like, that's a conversation she was having between her and Brandon. She was not in the building. She was not causing discord in the building. Like, you can't just vent to one of your homies. Like,
yeah, but like Brandon at the same time is wrong as two left shoes, because he should have been like, hey, chill out, because he had her on speakerphone, or the usual black thing where people be like, I got you on speakerphone.
Don Juan is here. No, Brandon was definitely messy, but we see how Brandon is, because he tried to get Dom sent to another restaurant when they got caught being messy.
He tried to sacrifice her job and not his, basically.
And did. And like, I get it, because Dom is kind of in and out, but it's like, no, you're the manager. You take the L. And that's what Don Juan was saying. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, I can't send her away when you're the manager and you made the mistake. I got to send you away.
Hello. But at the same token, both people should be penalized, because you sign contracts that say that there's no fraternization on the job. Like, you cannot date the people that you work with. What are you doing? You knew this already. And then you also know, as the manager, there's cameras everywhere. So like, what were you thinking?
Yeah. Also, just
sorry, the windows is open. It's loud outside.
No, it's fine. I'm just like, I just don't think Old Lady Gang is run that well. I don't know. Like, do the people have a good code of conduct? Do the people have a good code of conduct?
Evidently.
OLG.
Not the OLD.
Do people have a fraternization policy in there? I'm just trying to figure it out.
They said it on the show.
Like, everybody was canoodling with everybody, and maybe it was just because it was no managers involved. But it seems like clear, clearly a lot of people have canoodled within OLG.
Facts. I think it's only an issue when it's like, to your point, management and subordinate, like management and employee. Like, because clearly you can't manage someone that you seeing intimately, both in the job and outside of the job. Like, what?
Now, see, that I felt like that deserved the ring cam more so than what Shawndrika said.
Facts.
That deserved the ring cam, because also, like, even if there was no sound, that would still have been wildly inappropriate, just to see that on a like a security camera or something. That would have still been inappropriate.
Totally agree, sis.
What else happened this episode? Oh,
not a whole lot.
Yeah, but Todd finally agreed to go in the kitchen. He get on my nerves.
They was in there for all of 10 minutes.
They were really in there for 10 minutes. Allegedly, it was an hour, but I think it was more like 10 minutes. But it's 10 minutes. I never understand people who run. You want to run a company, but you feel like you're too good to do anything else in the company. It's like, how do you know what's all going on down to the kitchen? You run a restaurant. You need to know. You should know every
ins and outs of your business.
You should be bussing tables. You should be being a server. You should be down to the kitchen. You should be in the parking lot. You should know every aspect of your business. Not saying you have to work there for a long time, but you should have had your hands in each one to kind of know what's going on. And he was just like outright refusing and like this throwing them some huge bone by going in the kitchen. But it just seemed like he want to have all the ideas and then want everybody else to do all the hard work. And it's just like,
But then I watch, so you know I be watching Kandi online. I love that. She be giving behind the scenes tea. And there was a clip of, I guess she was in hair and makeup and he was just in the room. He was saying that he's more used to being in the production of a business as opposed to being on the front lines. And so like he leaves that to Kandi. Kandi has all the relationships with the staff. She knows everybody's, story and so on and so forth. Whereas he might know the story, but he's not like in it. He don't have relationships with the people like that. So he don't feel connected to them, which is why he's very much Team Philip.
I'm going to say something possibly inappropriate here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Todd he had a production business and he was a producer, but it's Kandi that had all the things and was doing all the things and had all the resources. So like, what makes you think that you shouldn't have to go in there and work hard? You married well, sir. And she worked hard. So what makes you think that you ought to be able to avoid going in the kitchen for a few minutes to find out what's going on?
I mean, I don't want to knock him down that much.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, as far as where they were when they got married, Todd married up.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
but
Kandi already had stuff going on.
Decent money. I don't think she would have like fooled with him if he didn't really have no money for real.
No.
Because he also has like that company with the guy that does Love and Marriage Huntsville. What's his name? He left
Carlos
the Housewives.
King.
Him and Carlos King had a production business, or they were doing stuff because they did Hollywood Divas.
No, I know. I'm saying like he had a specific skill set and he was used to doing his specific skill set. It seemed like Kandi had already figured out how to finesse her way into like a few different things well before he got into the mix. And she did her stuff from the ground up. And that's why she has the relationships, because she did her stuff from the ground up. So I don't understand why Todd thinks he should come in and be able to bypass that step.
And now that I can understand.
And spend Kandi's money and her social capital from her relationships to boss people around. Like,
now remember the OLG stuff. She said because that started on the Housewives, like him trying to pull it together.
Yes,
and
I know.
She said then that was strictly his business, like that was his money, which is why she didn't have a whole lot to say around what was going on, because they were doing the play and all that then. So to that end, I do remember that because they were doing A Mother's Love. Is that what the play was?
There were a few plays.
In the comments. But no, Kandi and Todd's play, I think it was it A Mother's Love or something like that?
I don't know.
Anyway, it was Chitlin Circuit, nonetheless. If y'all hear this extra booming and carrying on, it's my neighbor. He's having a party of one. And so now it's probably going to pick up on the microphone because it is loud.
So anyways, like I don't know, something about that does not sit well with my spirit of him just coming around, throwing it around his weight. And I don't know, it just feels like he's trying to skip steps in a way that his wife didn't, and like relegating her. Oh, she's the people person. And it's just like, oh, she's just the people person. I do all the business. It's like, sir, shut up. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And it could just be a me thing, but it rubbed me the wrong way.
Listen, don't be over there on Mama Joyce. No, you know what? Let's talk about the old lady game.
Well, Bertha took a smoke break.
Was it a smoke break? No, I'm thinking about when they got there and the old ladies, they had their little red chef's jackets on.
Yes.
And the producer was trying to tap her to tell her she had to turn around, and she about lost it. Bertha was not funny.
Bertha is a riot. Okay.
And
she is
okay. I love it, Bertha.
She definitely did. She definitely did. When the people were in the kitchen, because they came looking for her, the people were in the kitchen and, the OLG was supposed to be giving directions. And Bertha was like, I'm going to take a smoke break. Like, I can't, I can't do this everything. Right now. Man, Bertha carried it for me this episode.
Yes, or the fake old ladies that came in and Nora was sitting there like shocked and awed. That's the thing that's going around on
I
social
know.
media
I just think
with a
it's
group of
dumb,
girls
but
dress up. I mean, it's funny, if you were a part of it, but to watch it on TV, it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
you look ridiculous when you watch it on TV. Unless you know
fun in the moment.
Maybe. Some stuff, this is an aside, but some stuff I just don't find funny. And like a lot of the people on the internet, I just do not find funny. God bless them, but I don't find them funny.
I feel like that's one of those things that it's been picked up on social media, but it was probably meant for just the girlfriends to do something different and just have fun.
Yeah.
Laughing at each other and recording it.
No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, some of the stuff that's out there is not funny to me, and I just I derive no joy. What else? What's next?
Love and Marriage Huntsville Child.
Yeah, we can just go right on over to Carlos King since we already brought him up.
I will say again, this season is making, as of right now, because I can say this shit today and then on Saturday it'd be some BS. Mm-hmm. This season is making me have like a little bit of a like for Martell, only because of his friendship with Mel Nika. I like the dynamic between the two of them because she can say things to him that he's not doing this, because he's been doing this for the last 4 seasons. Stop it, ma'am.
I don't know that nothing can make me like Martell Hope, but go ahead.
Listen, he's becoming like, her PR magic is working out because he's looking a little bit redeemable this season, just a smidge. He's funny. Sure. He's like, we're not getting so egotistical, Martell. Like, I'm okay with this Martell.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I do think they have too many things going on. They need to consolidate a little bit. Well, because he got like 15 businesses going on.
He got the sweet red wine for the country folk. Uh-huh. He's doing the calendar. What was the other thing? Because he's fine as hell. Make money.
Girl, nobody buys calendars anymore.
Listen, the people that's older than us is buying calendars. What you talking about?
Sure.
He finna be on somebody's cougar's kitchen refrigerator wall situation.
I feel like the only calendars I ever see are like, yes, older people, but they like getting them from somewhere. Like, I don't feel like nobody's going out of their way to buy a calendar. Anyways, but he has that.
He does like Essence Fest and all those other like type of little conventions.
So maybe he can do a little autograph or whatever.
Give him away. There you go.
All right. Okay. I'll give you the calendar. So he has that. He has the calendar. He has a cookbook. He had a fitness book. And he had the wine. So I was like, I felt like maybe he could just focus on 2 things or 3. So like he has the whole thing with his appearance and like health and wellness stuff. So I felt like maybe he should just focus on
that makes sense.
The fitness, maybe the calendar, and the cookbook. And that would be 3 things that he could kind of sell all together as one package. But the red wine and the kids book, it was just like extraneous, like that don't fit into the goal, the mission. I don't feel.
I mean, that's like last season with what was he pushing? Oils and something else.
But even that, I feel like
to Madani.
Yeah, but even that, I feel like if it stays within the health and wellness umbrella, I think it's fine. But he needs an umbrella, and it's like he's just trying to do too much.
Well, listen, Martell Ho, if you need some strategy help and assistance, your girl is good. Canton is good.
No, thank you. That kind of energy.
Girl, take that check.
Okay.
What?
Girl, I guess.
Money is money. It's all green at the end of the day. At this point, it's finna be Bitcoins.
I guess.
You and this
Let's see. Tiffany and Mel. Tiffany and Mel sat down to talk about Stormi, and Mel was like, well, Tiffany, you came in with the same energy. And I was like, and she did. She did, with a whole bunch of
But at the end of the day, I feel like Mel be instigating.
Yeah, of course, she does instigate, but she wasn't wrong that time. I don't like Mel very much either, but she wasn't wrong that time. Like, Tiffany did come in hot with a bunch of opinions about people she had never met before. So that was that.
It was Tiffany and Stormi sitting down for me, though. Like, that beginning conversation where Stormi was just like, you lost me about 5 sentences ago.
I was like, okay, Stormi's a real one. I like Stormi. I think
I do like
Birdie's still out. I think she seems like a good time, but she also seems no nonsense. And I usually like those type of girls. But you know me, lap the party one time. We talk about this on some videos that are coming up about career. But like, lap the party one time, girl. You don't know these people. Like, all you know about them is what you have seen on TV or what you have heard from Mel. So you have to, like, you know, make your rounds, be like, hey, girl, I'm new to the group or what have you. And she just didn't do that. So that kind of was off-putting to me.
Girl.
What else happened? Oh, Tisha and Keke.
Now, what the hell is going on there? That's the thing that that had me confused. Because last season, Keke was going to bat for Tisha.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems to me like they have I know they're cousins, but a frenemies sort of relationship.
Child, Keke looked like more like what's the mama's name? Miss Wanda.
Miss Wanda.
What you call it, dude?
You can definitely tell they related. They look alike to me.
I mean, they do, because Keke looked like Miss Wanda. That looked like her double twin.
Yeah, she does look like Miss Wanda. They're definitely, you can tell they're like first cousins, because it's like they look
them jeans
a lot alike.
Strong as hell.
And she looks like Miss Wanda more than Tisha even looks like Miss Wanda. But yeah, they seem like they just talk each other's business, and to me, you know,
what is going on? I'm so confused.
And then Tisha be lying. That's the other thing. Tisha be lying, because she was like, I did tell them, but I didn't tell your business. I've already apologized to you for that.
Right. That's the part that lost me.
You did talk her business.
You're saying that you didn't do that, but then you turn around and you say in the confessionals that you apologize for. So which one is it, sis? Like Keke said, I call bull.
And my thing is, you can definitely be like, hey, I thought we had moved on. I'm okay with that conversation of like, hey, I thought we had hashed that out and moved on from that. Yeah. And now we're talking about what's happening in the present with you, not what happened 4 years ago with me. So like, let's have that conversation. But they seem like frenemies to me. Like, they seem like, yeah, I don't know. Cause I don't know. The cousin,
like Keke is trying to get onto the show, by any means necessary, and it's unfortunate that on the previous season you were Team Tisha, and now on this season, or not Team Tisha, I think she was. I'm right. She was Team Tisha, and now on this season you're all up Mel's booty. Like, what's going on, sis? You don't really seem genuine. And as far as like people watching the show, like that's what's being shown to us. Like or I would even say to like give her like a redeeming piece. Like maybe there was a falling out in between the filming of the 2 seasons.
That's the vibe I was getting. Like it was some sort of falling out.
5 years ago.
No, I got a vibe of like something happened. I don't know if it happened recently. They didn't say that anything happened recently. But it seems like there was a disconnect somewhere. And again, with them both having a history of talking each other's business, it could have just been something minor that just set everything back up. And we know that Tisha does blow things out of proportion. She didn't blow this out of proportion, but she does blow things out of proportion. So it could have been something small that happened that like caused some rift in their relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like so moving on from them, the conversation that brought the two of them together to have another conversation was Kimmy told Tisha what happened, and they're like on the show. I don't know. I don't buy that this is gonna work out, because I feel like Kimmy goes through this process every fucking season with Tisha, and then something else happens.
That's why she said she wouldn't be friends with Tisha. She was like, I don't have, if they were not related, they would not be friends. Because she was like, I don't have time for this. And my relationships, my normal relationships aren't this complicated.
Hello.
So, no.
I'm with you, Kimmy. I'm not going back and forth with friends. Like, either
but
we gonna hash this out or we not.
Exactly. But I am really glad that she told Tisha that was the right thing to do. That Keke was over there running her mouth.
Even if
Kimmy
what
was like,
Keke
I didn't even know
wasn't like super negative, it just is weird that it's coming from you.
Yeah, but also like, shouts out to Funky Daniva. I watched his.
I miss Funky.
Yeah, I've been watching his. I like his Love and Marriage Huntsville recaps, but it was it was just like. Mel called that girl over there to bait her.
Yeah, it was clear.
Having a certain conversation, and it was like, you fell right in the trap, girl.
My thing is like, everybody could see that. As soon as Mel was like, I don't know, Keke, you her cousin, so like you've been around. Have you seen? Like, to me, baby, you are searching for something, and I'm not finna give it to you. Like,
and that's what Kimmy said. Kimmy was like. Oh, sorry. That's what Kimmy was saying. Kimmy was just like, I didn't even know they were friends like that. Like, why was she even there if you weren't there? I thought that their only association was through you.
Right, that part. And the other thing I'm curious about is like these conversations that wasn't had on camera, all this conflict that wasn't on camera. Like, what are you talking about? Why are we talking about this if we don't get to know the story?
Yeah.
Whatever the business was that was told to Mel and Martell when they were together, evidently they have been separated like probably a year and a half, 2 years, and now are fully divorced. So like, what?
I have to assume it was something like within her a relationship issue or something like that. But one never knows.
What it gave me was that like Keke used to be with the cocaine, and Tisha was. This is alleged and speculation on my part, okay? But that's
I'm like, I didn't see that at all.
Like, okay, so just full disclosure here. I have cousins that were, on the stuff back in the day. I'm from Jersey, and so when we would go home, my grandmother, rest her soul, and another auntie would be like, make sure you watch your stuff. So like, I feel like that's the vibe that Tisha was giving Martell and Mel about Keke coming over, because she said that they were inviting her as a guest or as an extension of Tisha and Marceau. So she wanted to let them know up front, sis might have a little sticky fingers because she got a drug problem. This is all alleged. This is all alleged.
I don't know this shit to be true. Let her in that house. Not in their house with those people who value their things. I don't think they would let her in. But
at the same time, she could have said it like, she's recovering or whatever the case may be.
Okay,
maybe something that was her past. Like that's where my mind is. Because I've seen it happen.
My mind went like, she's going through a lot. She's going through a breakup. She's in her marriage. I don't know if she's ever been married, but like where she's coming out of a hard time. So if she just goes off to herself, she just needs time to recover. Like I've had that conversation with people before of like, somebody's going through a hard time. So like, I mean, you don't have to give details. You just say they may be going through a hard time. So, right. They may not be as active or festive.
She could. So yesteryear, Kendra and I had a friend that brought us together, and she had taken us to a soiree at her significant other's house. And at the soiree, or at her ex significant other's house, was the new girl. And so the new girl had a drinking problem. And like, we were put on notice upon entering that this is her situation. So like it could be one of those, you know.
You never know. Anyways, that
y'all let us know if you like my conspiracy theories.
No, I didn't go to that theory. I just went with like she's going through a breakup. That's usually where my mind goes. All right. Anything else for Love and Marriage Huntsville? We can just move on.
No, we can move on, child. Because we running long.
All right, let's do Put a Ring on it.
Put a ring on it. Because we have 2 episodes to talk about, right?
No, just one.
Okay.
We talked last week. You're catching up. I already talked my stuff last week, but you can add your commentary, of course.
Child, I've been drinking since 5:30. I don't remember what happened. Refresh me.
Okay, I took some notes. I'm
like, who are the people? Christ. I can't even picture none of them in my mind right now. That's terrible. I know that Shorty is going out with Hollywood.
Yes. I like Shorty and Hollywood together.
He just won't be on TV.
I think so too, but I kind of like them together.
He fine as hell. He done grew on me.
But I just think I don't know. I like them together. And Shorty was kind of like, her boyfriend really is like
he is going through it.
Sketchy, abusive. I don't know if he's abusive, but like he just sketchy and like does extreme things.
I feel like he's close to it.
Yeah, and like when she tried to break up with him, he like followed her home. And like parked around, that is parked around a corner. And Hollywood was kind of like, no, that's actually crazy. Like Hollywood was kind of like, because she was like, well, one set of friends was like, oh, that's crazy. And the other set of friends was like, oh, give him another chance. He's obviously really sorry. And Hollywood was kind of like, no, that's
crazy.
Nuts. That's crazy.
Okay. Like say that shit 2 times.
I'm kind of nervous for her.
I am too. Because it makes it seem as though she can't leave him.
Yeah.
Like she's afraid of what he'll do. And the fact that like when she flipped out on him because he was taking photos of her banking stuff and he was sending it to himself. Like, what you finna do, bro? Because even like in today's world, with having her banking stuff now, okay, COVID, the regulations have relaxed a little bit, so you can't go into the branch, but you still got to show ID. Like, you know, if you're gonna go in there and clean out her account, or if you're gonna set up a thing where you can transfer all her money to your account, like that is wild. I hope that I saw on Instagram somebody was saying that hopefully she went ahead and changed all of her banking information.
Yeah, I hope so too. And then Otis and Charlena. Now, see, here's the thing about it. Kenneth is like he's legit crazy, and we can tell. Otis is
crazy too.
Gross. He is like gross. He is manipulative, and he is just like I'm so glad that Dr. Nicole don't let him go nowhere. Dr. Nicole will be like, no, nope. Because you said I didn't chastise her that time, which implies that you had chastised her before.
Come on, lawyer.
Okay.
Say it again for the people in the back.
That was Dr. Nicole. That wasn't even me. That was Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole was like, no, she's grown. Like
that shit is crazy.
What is the chastising? And then you talk about her acting childish, but that's like your perspective because you seeing her as a child who needs to be chastised as though you're her parent, and you are not.
Mm-hmm. You're her partner, not her father.
I don't like Otis at all. I don't like him at all. And
but it's always the ones to be fine as hell that have like, well, he's not fine as hell. He's just attractive, but like
he's good looking. But like I
have psychological issues.
And I just feel like, okay, Kenneth is nuts. Like he needs help. However, I will give him that he has a measure of self-awareness to know that this is not normal. He has said it. He said it. He was like, I know that I go too far and I need help.
Sis, he says that shit, and that is a manipulation tactic. He says that to like subdue Shorty in the sense of like trying to take ownership of his bullshit. But I don't think that he is really self-aware. I think he's just saying the self-aware language or using it.
Okay, fair. He's co-opting self-aware language. Otis don't even go that far. He's just like, no, he's childish. He don't care at all. He does not care at all.
Child,
and he just
watch Otis be a Sagittarius. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna tell y'all next week.
Otis is like, no, I have to talk to her that way because she's childish. Not like, not that he's not accepting any responsibility whatsoever for like anything, nothing, not even for play. Not even for manipulation tactics. He's not accepting responsibility, period. Everything
but at the same token, he's still manipulating her.
Of course. But everything that he does, he spins it so that it's like as if she deserves it.
Facts.
And that's what I don't like. And then lastly, Alfonzo thinks he's Rick Ross. He thinks that he actually.
Oh yeah, I'm like, who is Alfonzo? I forgot about him.
He thinks that he's Rick Ross, and hey, Shiny, he thinks he is actually Rick Ross, and he said something. I had to rewind it because I was like, did he say that? He said that. They were talking about being secure in the relationship or whatever, and Alfonzo said something to the effect of like, Shay should be secure enough in the relationship to know that to not worry because and not worry about a one night stand or something that just happens while he's on the road or while he's out of the country. Like she shouldn't worry about those little one night. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Did he just say
insane? Yeah.
He said that. Yeah. He said it.
He did. And I feel for her because I'm like, so she was talking about this week, one of the women, because they had a one-on-one with Dr. Sherry, not Dr. Sherry, what's her name? Dr. Nicole?
Dr. Nicole.
Dr. Sherry, the one from The Housewives.
Is.
But they had their one-on-one and she was talking about the woman she had posted a photo of them. Granted, they were like homeboy and homegirl posed, right? But like, nonetheless, the woman put in the comments, the love of my life. And so when your woman is asking you questions about what is the nature of this relationship, for her to write it as that, like, answer her. Attend to her needs. Obviously, she's feeling some sort of way about it. Yeah, and that is
you don't feel like he owes her anything at all. Like nothing. He owes her nothing.
But look, if she went and did that, it would be I'm out of here. It's over. You're dead.
It would have been over. It would have been over before she could even push posts. Let's be honest. Like it would have been so over. And then I did like the fact that Dr. Nicole was like, you are putting boundaries in place, not because to keep her feelings or whatever, but to like protect your home life. If you say this is what's important to you, that's why you're putting boundaries in place. And it seemed like it finally clicked to him. I don't think that he's going to change his behavior whatsoever.
No.
But it did seem like it finally, like the light bulb kind of went on, like
oh shit. Yeah.
It's not just about her nagging and her having her way. It's about the fact that this is allegedly the person I want to build a life with. And so maybe I ought to try to protect that relationship to some extent. He's not going to change. He's not
because he don't care.
He don't care. He didn't care at all. So
I feel like, didn't she say, or didn't they say that they like broke up or whatever at one point and then got back together? Like something like that. And
I don't know.
I'll have to watch it again, but y'all let me know if y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel like maybe she alluded to it. Maybe I don't know. Either way, he has very much. He gives very much disinterested. Like he don't care one way or the other if she's there or if she's not there.
He gives me like I get hoes, so I'm not really worried about it one way or the other.
Girl,
but you're getting okay. Again, I have a controversial take. You're getting hoes by association. So you better hope that you keep in good graces with Rick Ross, because if you're not with him and dressing like him and on his team, you are not that attractive, sir. You are right. It's not giving. It's not giving.
Well, clearly the woman that he went on a date with was all about him, honey. But it also could be that she knew who he was. Let's talk about that.
Or listen, I'm
there
not
are
saying that he
groupies
isn't.
for the people that are a part of the entourage.
Of course. But he also has, I mean, he has a certain like confidence, rappery sort of confidence about him because that's who he hangs around. So he does have that. He exudes that confidence. So I can understand that. But it's just like, if you weren't a part of that situation, you would be just a regular dude from the street, dude off the street. So
Right.
like,
that part. All right, what else we got for the week?
that's it for me. We can
slide on into the end of the show.
Yes.
You know what the question is? What are you curious about, or what have you been curious about this week?
I have been curious about a lot lately, none of which I want to share. Just
Do
life
you have
stuff.
something shareable for the show?
Just life stuff. No, I don't. Everything is like muchy. So, let's just say I'm curious about life and how I'm going to keep with my previous one and say I continue to be curious about, ways I can change my life. There we go.
Well, let us hope that next week Kendra has something to say for you all. No, I'm just kidding. So for me, actually, what I'm being curious about is I have somehow or another have fallen into the conspiracy TikTok and like the informational TikTok. And so
we saw with the scientists.
Yeah. Don't shade me. I'm a little bit nerdy. It's okay. But yeah, so for the scientists that I posted at the top of the show, basically asking like, are you paying attention? I'm curious to know if people actually are paying attention to what is being said, because like that was news to me. I had no idea that we only have 3 years to make serious change before we have catastrophic events.
I think I knew that.
The last report that I saw, which was in 2020, maybe, she was talking about, she was like an Indian scientist, but she was talking about like 2035 or like 2040. So like, I'm just like, yo, that's sped up quickly. And then the other thing too is like that scientist really reminded me of, if you guys are familiar with the film on Netflix called Don't Look Up, like dead ass, that's what that gave me. So watch Don't Look Up if you've not seen it. It is an interesting comedy, but like it's the irony for me is that the shit is real now. So, do with that.
I've never watched it, but like I recommend that, the people listen to the Daily or some little quick news podcast every day. And
but they don't talk about that shit.
Yeah, they do. They do different deep dives. That's why I like the Daily, because they do a deep dive every day. So it'll be like whatever is in the news, and they'll just have like a 5 minutes at the end of like, here's what else you need to know today. But they have a 20-minute deep dive on different topics. And I recall they've done a few climate deep dives and that's why I knew that the number had moved up. But yeah, if you don't listen,
send that to me. Let's put it in the
it's a very quick listen. I'll put it in the description box. But it's a very quick listen. You can find it everywhere. It's just Daily by the New York Times, and they talk about a lot of different things that I hear later, and I'm like, oh shoot, they talked about that on the Daily. So.
See, that's the problem. Why the scientist man was standing outside of his building crying. The world is coming to an end, y'all. Allegedly. Okay, don't nobody sue me. Talk to y'all next week.
All right, later. Bye.
Bye. All right, we're gonna share that.